hard to capture, extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifested. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sacred life.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, and today we're gonna be doing something that is very, very long overdue, which is we're gonna be talking about what is Deepa's critical weakness in Boruto Naruto Next Generations. And I gotta go ahead and say right now, if you have not seen the last Boruto episode where it was Deepa taking on the members of Team 10, better known as Team Moegi, if you have not seen that episode, I'm gonna highly recommend checking out the Deepa versus Team 7 fight and the Deepa versus Team 10 fights. That way you can get an understanding of how Deepa's abilities work and what exactly we found in the last episode. So with all that being said though, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you've already been caught up on the Boruto anime if you're still here. So when you go back to the last episode, when Deepa was just toying around with the members of Team 10 and just knocking them around, you know, he got a 2-for-1 special when he took out Arya and Yodo, the members of Shinki's team, and you have Shinki and Shikadai. They have the moment where they go back and forth and they're trading insults because of how dire the situation is. Shinki saying, I thought you Konoha ninja are supposed to be something pretty special. Don't talk about my ultimate defense like this. Well, you have this moment where when Shinki begins adding extra layers to his iron sand defense, you have this moment where Deepa, they do a close-up on his hand and you see more emphasis put on the speed in which those projectiles that he's shooting out, more emphasis on how fast they're coming out, and you see the exertion. Then at one point you see him do something he did not do during the Team 7 fight, which is Deepa used both hands. Now that might not seem like a lot to you, but when you look at it and you look at the fact that after that fight concluded, Deepa's got smoke that is coming from his fists, and you have that moment where he looks back at the members of Team 10 and the members of Shinki's team and he pauses for a second. Some of us thought like, hey, maybe it's possible that, you know, he just didn't see them as worthy of killing. But when I went back and I rewatched the episode, that thing with the smoke, it just became more obvious, because at first I thought it was an animation choice. I thought, man, that's just showing, like, you know, when you shoot the pistol and the smoke billows from the gun and the guy with the gun just blows off the smoke. I thought maybe that's what they're going for. But when I watched it, I'm like, oh, wait a second. He has those puppets that he's supposed to retrieve, and Victor tells him they're very important, and he just walks away like it's nothing. And you see the level of exertion that he did there. I think that there's a limit to how long he can actually use that ability of his to turn his body into carbon and shoot out the carbon from his limbs. And the reason why this is so important is those of you guys who are caught up with everything that's going on with Car in the manga, and I'm not going to do major spoilers here, but when you're caught up with the manga, you realize that there has been stuff that has been done to the different members of Car, in particular when it comes to their bodies, that give them these super overpowered abilities and just their overall strength. And when you start looking at the connection with scientific ninja weapon tech, I think that one of the things you have to look at here is that there's very much a possibility that what you're seeing with Deepa as far as with his body having limits is directly tied to that. Because when you look at how Victor was first introduced to us in the series, when he showed up when they were looking for the Hashirama cell, the people that were around Victor were using scientific ninja weapon tech, and in particular they were using ninja tech that looked like it was on the same level of the shinobi gauntlet that you saw Katasuke use. So I think that something like that just shows you that what Kara has done is they've taken that technology and they've advanced it. And now when you have people like the scientists from the Hidden Stone Village, who that happened after the events of the Momoshiki arc, after Katasuke's ninja weapon tech information was stolen, that shows you that Kara has been moving in the shadows, secretly developing these ninja. And so when you get a guy like Deepa, I think that that's definitely what we're seeing there. I think that there's a time limit. I think that the ninja tech he's using in order to turn his body into carbon, because he's a cyborg, I think that what you're seeing is the fact that his body has limits, which means it's possible maybe the ninja tech inside of his body has not fully assimilated into his living body. Because when you're a cyborg, you're not fully robotic, you're just enhanced. So when you get cut, you still bleed. You're still human. You just been artificially enhanced. A great example would be 17 and 18 from Dragon Ball. They're cyborgs, they're not androids. So I think that something like that could be the case there. I think that when it comes to Deepa, there's a built-in plot device to potentially bring him down in the future, to where, again, whether it be stamina or whether it be he just can't maintain that high output of power for a long time, I think that that could be it. Now, somebody's gonna say, man, well, you know, he fought against Mitsuki in Sage mode and he was shooting off all those projectiles, but if you really look at it, there were moments where he stopped. There are moments where he stopped and he taunted, and that brings me back to, say, if you go back to the Pain arc, Pain just wasn't spamming Almighty Push all over the place. He wasn't spamming Shibaku Tensei. There's a cooldown period. It was very short for Pain, in particular for the Diva path. It was very short, but there was still a cooldown period. And so I think that you could be seeing something like that with Deepa. I think that Deepa has a period in time for he can only use the jutsu for this long, and after that he can't use it for a certain amount of time. And so I think that that's what you're seeing there. And I think that if it's something like that, then they're opening up the door for potentially somebody like Konohamaru or Boruto to get in that last minute shot. Because the reason why I did in the episode review a couple weeks ago and said, like, hey, when you add change in chakra nature to an intense change in chakra form like the Rasengan, it's going to beef up the attack power. And based on what Kakashi and Boruto's training is, they're adding a wind change in chakra nature. This is the ultimate goal. They're adding wind change in chakra nature to beef up the vanishing Rasengan. So what you're potentially going to see with Boruto is Boruto adding both wind and lightning to the vanishing Rasengan to make it more powerful. And if that's the case, I'm going to say right now, you can go ahead and just quote me here. If they say that, then what that tells me is that somebody realizes that they made a retcon when it comes to the vanishing Rasengan, because the vanishing Rasengan, when it was first introduced in 2015, was originally wind change in chakra nature, and the anime changed it to lightning, and now they're going back and they're adding wind change in chakra nature to it to get it closer to what Masashi Kishimoto originally wanted the vanishing Rasengan to be. That's why they have that line in there that says it disappears, but it lacks the punch. It lacks the punch. The advantage that comes with is the fact that it vanishes and it hits the person when their guard is lowered, so somebody's expecting it, they can tank the attack. So I think that what you're seeing here is that by adding that wind change in chakra nature on top of the lightning change in chakra nature to a jutsu like the Rasengan that is change in chakra form, and it's change in chakra form to the highest degree, I think they open up the door for Deepa to have that cooldown period and for Boruto to bring him down. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Are you okay with Deepa potentially having a cooldown period, and do you think that they're doing this as a way to set the stage for Boruto to beat him? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.